So I have been learning ICT for about a year now, and to be honest, I've made a decent amount of progress. But another thing is that looking back, I could have made this amount of progress in way less time if I did not do or did some of the things that I'm going to share with you guys today. Let's go. Number one, learn from ICT himself. Now I know this contradicts something that I've once said in a previous video, but I'm a big boy now. I grow. I change. My opinions change. Anyway, the reason this is that it guarantees you 100% that you are going to learn the right information straight off the bat. Now, the problem with the third-party channels, especially for people who do not know ICT concepts yet, is that when you go to a third-party channel, you do not know whether what they're teaching you is correct or not, right? But with ICT, knowing very well that it's his concept, you already know that I should trust this is being taught properly because this is the author of the concepts, right? I know some people try to simplify ICT concepts, but there's something that ICT once said. He said that people in this generation, let me try to remember this quote. People in this generation seek simplicity for the sake of simplicity alone and not really get to the truth or the heart of the matter, right? So if you are going to seek simplicity for the sake of simplicity, you're not really going to get the truth, right? So I just recommend that you go straight to ICT, learn the truth. It's going to be difficult. You're going to get confused, but at least you know that what you are learning is what you are looking for. Instead of not knowing whether you're learning the right information or not. Because in future, that is going to waste more time than it is going to save you. Understand what I mean? If you try to learn from someone else who's teaching ICT and that person is not really genuine and is just trying to make money from YouTube, you won't know that, and you're going to test those people's theories and you're going to realize that they're not profitable, and it's going to drag your journey longer than it should be if you just started learning ICT straight from the bat. So number one is go to ICT and learn from ICT himself. Simple. Number two, whatever playlist you are going to watch it more than once. Let me ask you guys a question. Has there ever been a song that you used to love growing up, but as a child, right? And then as you grow up, you listen to the song again and you have a deeper understanding of the lyrics. It's like, what? This song was speaking about someone going through a heartbreak this whole time. But you didn't have to cut me out. You know what I'm saying? And you just used to groove to it, just used to love the song. And it's like you understand that now because you have a greater level of experience, a greater level of life experience. Maybe you went through a heartbreak and now you can relate to the lyrics. Not something that has happened to me, no guys, maybe you know. Anyways, let's relate this to ICT concepts. The more you study the charts, the more you engage in the content, is the more experience you build, right? So let's say you watched Market Maker series. This is actually my example now. Market Maker series, before you had any experience with ICT content, and you got the content, but you did not really quite get everything. You did not really quite grasp everything, right? You go in the charts, you apply the content, but there's always this one problem that you can't really get through, right? For me, it was the midnight opening price. I did not know that on Thursdays and Fridays, you don't look for it to be a factor, right? I used to look for the midnight opening price to be a factor every single day. But once I watched that series again, it was like, oh, Thursdays and Fridays. No wonder why I hated these days so much, right? Because you don't look for the midnight opening price to be a factor. I went back to my charts. I went back to the screenshots that I once took, and I realized that, oh yeah, Thursdays and Fridays usually form a reversal in the weekly range and all of that stuff. And if I did not do that experience, if I did not go through my charts, and if I did not watch the playlist the second time when I had more experience, then I wouldn't have gotten that information and I would have still been struggling, right? So just because you watch something, it doesn't mean that you understand the whole thing. No matter how much you feel like you do, doesn't mean that you do. Even with the 2022 mentorship, the first time I watched it, I was like, this is not for me. It's too complicated. I don't understand it, right? And then I just stopped watching it. And the second time I watched it, it was like I was watching a whole new playlist. It was like I was watching a whole new mentorship, guys. Because Now I finally understand what this entails, what that entails, right? And I've studied my chart and I've seen some of these things, and now he's talking about it. And I'm like, oh, this is similar to something that I saw last week Thursday. You go to last week Thursday, you annotate last week Thursday, and now everything kind of makes sense and you know what to look for in future. So watch whatever playlist you're gonna watch it more than once, watch it more than twice, watch it more than 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Keep on referring to these playlists, because I promise you, every single time you watch it, with more experience, you're gonna learn something new. You're gonna grasp something that you did not grasp the last time because you have more experience. So guys, number 3 is gonna be quite a long one, but I actually wrote it down, so don't mind me reading it right now. Give yourself permission to get it wrong, and understand that you can't control problems, but you can control the response. Now, one big mistake that I made when I started learning ICT is that whenever I learned about a new concept like an order block or a fair value gap, I used to go on my charts and be afraid that maybe I'm drawing this fair value gap in the wrong area, maybe I'm drawing this fair value gap wrong, maybe this is not liquidity, maybe this and this, maybe. I was so afraid of being a beginner, basically. I was so afraid of, like, what if this order block doesn't hold? What if this is the wrong order block? What if this and this? What if this and that? What if this and that? And that was the wrong mentality, guys, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to practice, you're gonna have to get it wrong in order for you to know which ones are the right ones to draw, right? You can learn from ICT, but at the end of the day, when you go back on your charts, you need to know how to apply what he's teaching on your own chart, because you are the one who's gonna have to make money from it, right? So give yourself permission to be wrong. Give yourself permission to be wrong. Do not be afraid of being wrong. There's nothing wrong about being wrong if you are learning and constantly improving. Do not beat yourself about it. Actually take screenshots, guys, of whatever you think is right. Take screenshots, because when you have more experience and when you look back, you're going to be like, what was I doing? And that is how you know that you've made progress. That is how you know you've made progress. Right now, as a beginner, do your beginner stuff, do your nonsense, do whatever, flop in whatever way you can. Take a screenshot of your nonsense, put it on Notion, put it on your journal. When you come back to it, once you have more experience, you'll be like, guys, sorry about that. My phone ran out of storage, but let's just pick up from where we left off. Anyways, what I was saying is that go back to your journal, see what all the mistakes that your beginner self was making, laugh at yourself, be like, I can't believe I put a fair value gap over there instead of there. I can't believe I put my order block there instead of there. I can't believe I looked for this on the 1 hour time frame instead of the 15-minute time frame. I can't believe that I did all of this. No wonder why what I was doing was not working. Because you're going to find that out sooner or later. You can't control your problems, right? I actually learned it from this book right here that I'm reading right now. Tough times never last, but tough people do, right? And he speaks about you can only control how you react to your problems, and you can't control most of your problems, only how you react to it. For example, you can't control what the market does. If you draw an order block and the market chooses to disrespect that order block, you can either react negatively and be like, I can't believe my market did not react to this order block, my trading career is over forever, I'm never going to make it in trading, and just storm off. Or you can react in this way. Wow, the market did not respect my order block. I wonder why. Oh, the bias was actually bullish for today. Oh, price was actually going for that high first. Oh, this and this. Try to find why did the market not do what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just storming off and be like, I will never ever get it. That is the worst way to react to your problems. So you can't control your problems, but you can control your reaction to the problem and see which one is the more productive reaction, right? Which one is the more positive reaction? Which reaction is actually going to lead you closer to your goal of being a profitable trader? This is stressful, I understand. We can't control it, and we need to understand what we can control and what we cannot control, and focus on what we can control. What we can control is our emotions, right? As much as our emotions seem uncontrollable in the market, but we can actually control them, right? We can actually control how we view our losses. We can control how we view things not going in our way. We can control that. You know what I'm saying? So let's try our best to control it in a way that will lead us closer to our goals. Storming off won't help you. And I'm speaking to my younger self here, right? Because I'm learning how to now manage when the market is not going my way, right? That's what I'm doing right now. And that is something that's going to take patience, and that is something that is going to take time. And I'm speaking way too much for point number 3. So let's move on to the next point. Number 4, I want to counsel you to forget about the bread, to forget about making money. For the meantime, don't even fund the demo account before you are ready. Because what that is going to do is that it's going to make it a more painful journey for you. Guys, Forex is one of those things where you're going to have to pour into it before you get anything back. You're going to have to put your blood, sweat, and tears, and even money in order for you to extract the profit from the foreign exchange market. It's not just going to happen. It is not just going to happen. And if you try to extract from it way too early, before you are ready, Forex is going to be an expensive hobby, right? If you treat it as a hobby, if you treat Forex as a hobby, as something that you're going to just dabble into trading, bro, it's going to be an expensive dabble, my G. Very, very expensive dabble, my G. It doesn't matter how rich you are. Doesn't matter how rich you are. This is the easiest way to lose money when you do not know what you're doing. The charts, Forex market, easiest way you can lose money. You know, I heard something like 80% of the time, if you do not know what you're looking for specifically, you are likely to lose that day. You are likely to lose money that day. If you do not know what you are looking for and you're just taking random trades, you are likely to lose. It is possible for you to make a profit, but it is the chances are very low when you do not have a specific setup that you have tested that has an edge. So you need to pour into Forex in order for you to get all of these details. And this is not just about ICT, but even in ICT, guys, in order for you to finally see order blocks that hold, in order for you to finally see price moving your direction, in order for you to finally see progress, you're going to need to pour into it. Right? You're going to need to lock in. You're going to need to be unsatisfied and still do it. Right? Unsatisfied with the action that you must take today. Unsatisfied with the fact that you're going to have to listen to ICT's long lectures today. If you want to actually extract from the market, if you want to actually get the result that you are looking for, then you are going to have to pour into it. Then you will get to the bag. So I know some of you guys are looking for ICT specific things, and if you've made it this far, thank you and lucky you, because here they are. So here are some few things that I would counsel you guys to actually learn that have helped me a lot in my journey. Number 1, learn how to establish a bias, right? Establishing a bias is basically knowing where the market is going from where you are right now, right? Daily bias, weekly bias, monthly bias, it's all the same thing. Just know how to establish a bias. Number 2 is narrative. Narrative is how is the market going there, right? Now you know where the market is going, but how will it go there? Because there are different ways that the market can go there, right? So you need to know how the market is going there based on what the market is currently showing you. Now here are the things that I would counsel you to learn on narrative, right? So it's power of 3, intraday templates, and weekly profiles, right? Or weekly profiles, to be honest, depending on what type of trader you want to be, right? And then after that, it's time and price theory, right? Time and price theory is basically the kill zones and what you should expect each kill zone to do for you based on what the market is doing right now. And I'm saying, like, London kill zone usually forms the high of the day if you are bearish, the low of the day if you are bullish. New York kill zone usually forms an OTE based on what has happened in London, you know, and then you can take your OTE from there on, right? And then London closed kill zone usually forms the opposite end of the daily range, and then the rest of the time it's usually a consolidation, right? And that is basically the kill zone. Go learn deeper about it. Go learn how to look for entries within those stuff, and you probably set with ICT, right? You'll probably be where I am if you know all of these things. Probably be where I am right now within a shorter amount of time, right? And last but not Leasley. Please put all your trust in this guy right here.